All right, guys, we're going to try something new. I wanted to take a moment in a video to go over the training agenda for the week. The coaches do a really good job kind of explaining what's expected of you in each class and guiding you through the workout. But since a lot of you guys like to look at the workouts in advance, we thought it'd be a good idea for us to try to give you a video where we summarize the week's training, go into some specific details about each day, and give you guys some expectations in terms of how you should attack these workouts and what the purpose behind them being programmed the way they are is. So if this works out well, we'll hopefully be doing this every week as we post the training, so you can kind of get ahead of the game and come in and be more proactive to what's on the board and what we program, and less reactive to what the coaches are saying. The best client is the one who already knows what to do, right? So Monday, we're going to continue with this warm-up that we've been doing. Again, the goal is to create some proficiency in jumping rope, not to be focused on the idea of just being one of those CrossFitters that can do double unders but can barely do a single, but being very versatile with the rope, understanding the timing and rhythm and needs that need to come with jumping the way we want you to jump, which is with ease. Double under shouldn't be tough, and jump rope shouldn't be tough, and the correlation between being a good jump roper and being good with the coordinative demands of our other fitness stuff is very beneficial. So getting good with the jump rope, start experimenting. We've done a week plus of this now, and a lot of you guys are still just doing single jumps and stuff like that, so I want to see in the classes some more attempts at backwards jumping rope, or at jump rope crosses, or high knee jump rope. Think like flash dance jumping. Feel free to look at some videos on YouTube of good boxers and how they jump rope, or even just good jump ropers, and then try to emulate that in class. Don't be worried about what you look like, because frankly, we don't care about that stuff, and we're all working on it together. So just get in there and tackle it and try to get better at jump rope by the end of the month. On Monday, we're going to spend some time with the barbell. We're coming back to it a bit in this week's training. We were away from it for last week because we wanted to give you guys some rest. But we're going to work on some skills with the snatch tomorrow, or on Monday, excuse me. And the snatch progressions we're going to do, we're going to work towards, if you're doing this RX, one hang snatch plus one full snatch. But as we're doing the warm-ups, we're going to go through the positions of the snatch and how it progresses from the smallest version of the hang power snatch to the largest version of it with a full snatch from the floor into a full squat. The coaches in your class will give you a specific one to work on based on where you're at with your progressions. But just try to remember that the hang power snatch is part of the hang power snatch, with a full squat depth. It's part of the larger movement. It's part of the next movement up from there. Everything's accumulative, so the goal is to get better at that part of the movement for the day. So if a coach is asking you to get there and work on that, it's because he or she wants to get that specific part of your snatch nice and tuned up before you get any bigger than that, right? So take your time with those movements. Don't go heavy. It says pick a weight that gives you the ability to focus on the movement, but only go heavier if you're hitting the movement well and if you have the coach's approval. They'll guide you through this. They'll tell you if you need to stay there or not. Make sure the points of performance are looking good. Don't move on until you get there, because it's not worth it. So stay in there, be a student of the movement, and kind of get there. Same thing is going to be happening with the clean on Friday and the push jerk. Putting those two movements together is always tough. Anyways, back to Monday. For our engine workout, we've got some overhead squats and some double unders. We've been working on overhead squats a lot this last 2 months with these larger sets. So a couple sets of 15 shouldn't be too bad. It's a little heavier than normal, but again, we should be able to get those. The challenge will be stabilizing that spine after doing a bunch of sit-ups, which make the abdominal muscles tired. So get at that. And then again, we got some work on the jump rope, which should hopefully you should feel like the work you've been doing so far with these warm-ups might equate to having an easier time this time around with jump rope, whether you're doing the double under attempts or the RX version of it. 3 rounds, we really want the intensity high on this, so really try to be relentless in your pursuit to get this done. The time cap's 14 minutes, which we think 70 to 80% of the gym should be able to finish within that time. So really push the pace to get it done. Okay. Tuesday, we're doing some front squats, right? So really take the time. If you know you got front squat weaknesses like your shoulders are tight or your upper back is tight, get to class early and start mobilizing right away, right? We want to take we don't want to take class time to make you more flexible. Flexibility is not earned in the class. It's earned in the hours you spend away from the gym working on those mobilities. Look up a video from on YouTube from Kelly Starrett on front squat prep for upper back and shoulders, and start looking at those exercises and start making them part of your routine outside the gym. Come in 10 minutes early, stretch, warm up, do the mobility stuff. That way when we get the barbell out, we won't have to waste time teaching the movement or correcting those things as much, and we'll have more time to spend working on the strength part of it. All right, so we're going to do front squats. We're going to build to a 3-rep max for the day. Now that's not a PR. It's just whatever you can do today. And again, keeping technique consistent. When it gets heavier, it's going to be harder for you to keep that chest up, those elbows up. It's going to be harder for you to do all those things. So make sure that you don't let that technique falter. Either fix it or stay lighter so that you can keep it. Technical failures are not the type of failure we're looking for. We're looking, if you're going to fail, it should be because the weight was too heavy and you just couldn't stand up with it. Not because your back turned into a question mark or your knees caved in or anything like that. So keep it pretty. After that, now that your torso is nice and tired from those front squats, we're going to do some deadlifts and burpees. Again, originally I had burpees tagged in as burpee pull-ups, but we have to make a modification because, as most of you guys have seen, the pull-up bars came off the wall today. I'm going to be getting together with a buddy of mine that's an engineer. We're going to be fixing those and making them bomb-proof again. So be patient with us. I appreciate that. Luckily, no one was hurt. So tomorrow on Tuesday, it's deadlifts and burpees. Pick a weight for the deadlift that you know you'll be able to use while keeping your technique good. It's heavy, and we want it to be challenging. We don't want you to fall apart with it, though. It should be doable. Okay, so find a weight that will challenge you and keep that intensity high. The burpees are going to take the wind out of you, but you still got to do the deadlifts right. Okay, on Wednesday, we're going to talk a little bit about rowing, okay? I've seen a lot of people in the gym demonstrate really great technique with the row, and then I've seen a lot of people where when the row gets tough, their technique goes straight out the window and they just try to survive. When we have rowing in workouts, especially one on Wednesday, where we're doing a combination of a row and a wall ball and a kettlebell swing, where we're basically going from rowing and kettlebell swings, which are very similar movements in the hip hinge, and then a wall ball, which is a squat, which is very quad dominant. What we typically see happen is we want to keep that row technique like a hamstring hip hinge, so it feels more like a deadlift, so you feel it more in your hamstrings, your glutes, and your back. And what happens when we combo it up with wall balls, the quads get fired up, and then all of a sudden we start squatting our row technique. And you know you're squatting the technique of your row when you reach in towards the computer screen and towards your toes. If your heels are up and you feel the seat of the rower hitting you on the ankles, and you feel your shoulders behind your hips, then you're squatting, right? It should look like, when you're in that position, it should look more like you're doing a deadlift, but you're sitting on your butt. Okay, your shoulders should be in front of your hips. Your hips should be back. Your feet should be flat on the paddles, and you should feel the burn in your hamstrings. And then from there, you straighten the legs, lean back, and pull with your shoulders. So we're going to go over that, and then during the workout, we're going to probably try to be really adamant about keeping your technique good. Now, there's a time cap on this of 18 minutes, and that should be enough time for you to do this, even in the event that we pace you because we want your technique to be solid. Don't be in a rush. Okay, do your wall balls. Everybody does wall balls really well. Do your wall balls fast, get on the rower and be good rowers, and make sure that we break that habit of defaulting to a squatted row when we get tired. Okay, let's keep the technique really hyped and really clean. I'm going to tell the coaches to be really ruthless in their attempts to get you rowing correctly. Okay? Thursday, we've got some mobility. We're looking at the total volume of hip hinging and squatting so far between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You're going to come into Thursday kind of tight. Most people just take Thursday off. It's the small day at the gym. But I encourage you to come in because we do design the workouts to be a 5-day-a-week program. So coming in, you're going to do some hip mobility after the warm up, just to get things moving. Then we're going to squat. Now it's a 2-rep max back squat, but it's not going to be a PR attempt, because you're going to be tired from all the other squatting we've done this week and all the other deadlifting. So again, focus on the technique. I don't want to see chests lowering down. I want to see very vertical torsos, and I want to make sure that you're reaching the depth by dropping your hips down. A lot of people, when they get to a limit with their hips, and I say lower, and they lean forward like they're getting the barbell lower. I don't want the bar lower. I want your hips lower. So really understand the difference between those two things. After that, you got some front rack lunges. You'll either be doing those with kettlebell or with the barbell. If we're doing with the barbell, I want you to follow the same standards that we did with the front squat. The elbows have to stay up. Everything has to be in order. The chest has to be up. Should feel just as difficult as those front squats you did on Tuesday. Now, handstand push-ups, if you got them, great. If you don't worry. We're still going to work on upper body pushing, so you'll do some hand release push-ups. 7-minute AMRAP. So I'm looking for high intensity. I want you to get a lot done in 7 minutes. 7 minutes is not a long time, and I want you gassed at the end. I want you just exhausted. So really make sure you push the tempo on these. Don't catch yourself looking at that barbell or looking at that kettlebell. Don't catch yourself resting on the floor. All right? Rest afterwards. It's a 7-minute AMRAP. You can push through that whole thing. Okay? And really make sure you're getting it. I'm teaching that day, so I'm going to make sure you're getting it. All right? Next day, Friday, it's the end of the week. We're going to do some clean and push jerk work. 1 clean plus 2 push jerks, or we're going to work on the fundamental basics of the hang power clean. If you're new to the gym, no worries on that. It's all about technique. Okay, the technical lifts, the snatch stuff on Monday, and the clean and jerk stuff on Friday are all about technique first. So just make sure you're really focusing on that. Don't be concerned with the weight. Be concerned with fixing the fine, minute details of your lifts. And then we have a fun little Metcon at the end. Our engine is a 15-minute cap. It's a 1,000-meter run. So we're going to do a 200-meter run in the parking lot. So 2 times around the parking lot. And on the second time, you're going to go out and do the large loop 800. That'll be your 1,000 in total. So you're not going to end with the 200. We've done that sometimes, but I want you to start with the 200. Then once you get in the room, you got 30 squat cleans for time. Bar touches the ground. You got to go into a full squat with the bar on your shoulders. That's going to be a tolerance test. You got to get those 30 reps done, and you can't get them done one at a time. You've got to come in and take bites out of them. 3 sets of 10, or no, not 3 sets of 10, but 10 sets of 3. If you want to do 3 sets of 10, that's pretty beastly though. Get them done. Don't catch yourself looking at the bar. Don't catch yourself walking around wondering, what the hell's going on and where you are. Okay, we're going to modify it accordingly because that's the desired effect. The time cap is 12 minutes. Most of that's going to be on that run, right? And so we want you to come in and get those 30 squat cleans done fast. So we're going to scale the weight accordingly so you can get it done quick. And, again, feel it afterwards when you're on your walk up and down the hallway, up and down the driveway. Okay, so like we said before, that's the week of training. If you feel like you got something going on and you need modifications, you let us know. I really do want to see people coming in ready for the workout, ready for the training, coming in early, mobilizing, not just laying on a foam roller and then talking to everybody, actually getting in there and being purposeful so that when the class starts, we can just get to work right away. I want to give you guys as much time to do more lifts. I want to give you guys as much time to warm up for these engine workouts. And I want to give you time at the end to recover as well. So be proactive and get in here early, do the work, and have some fun afterwards. All right? Again, if you guys need anything, my cell phone number. Shoot me a text if you have questions about the program. And we'll see you this week, and let's knock it out of the park. All right.